Sit down for a while. I think you're going to give me an opportunity to speak for a minute. You can stand there. You can stand there. You know, there's a broader question in there. I'm going to start off wide and come and get more specific. But there are people that live in this space of, I don't want to say anything negative because the universe will hear it, and then it will manifest according to what I'm saying. And what we're inviting you to do here is to become a student of the truth and to practice these spiritual principles. Now, when you practice these spiritual principles and you are praying, you are meditating, you are feeling the truth about reality, you start to develop, there's a certain tonal quality that happens. And though you may say some things throughout the course of the day that aren't in alignment with the truth of your being, your main chronic vibration is what overrides that. All thoughts are not created equal, okay? So if you have a thought, you've sat and you've meditated, and you've had a feeling tonal quality of connectivity, and you began to see your life working very beautifully and a feeling of that. And then, you know, a couple hours later, you say something that's a little bit off. The thought that you had and you come back to has a much higher frequency than the little beta thought that you had of worry. Not, you know, you don't want to worry, doubt, and fear. That's not going to help you. But your overall arc of unfoldment is coming from your daily practice. Okay? Now, so what we don't want to do is create a bunch of metaphysicians that are afraid of the negative thinking that happens. Because that fear itself will then put an emotional charge behind the thought, and it'll quicken its manifestation. So you just become aware of the thought of negativity. Now, back to your dad. Okay? You don't lie to your dad. You say, my life is unfolding. I'm going out on interviews. I'm staying positive, Dad. I'm staying in an affirmative vibration. I know something's going to unfold. As it manifests, I will pay you the money. You see? You tell them the truth. You know, the facts. The truth is, you're hanging out in an awareness of your oneness with God, and things are unfolding. So your life isn't just about, so you went from homelessness to having an apartment, to having a car, you know. So you have manifested certain things based on the power that you're using. Now that you know that, you're now being invited to go into a deeper level of surrender into this, of what's trying to happen in your life. Not that what you want to make happen with your mind, but what's trying to happen. This an unfoldment that's trying to take place within you. You have proved to yourself that the law works. Now you want to surrender yourself and say, okay, God, okay, law, okay, universe, use me. What's to happen through me now? I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried visualizing winning contests. I've tried this. What really is supposed to happen in me? Now, if you say that with as much sincerity as you've used the law to see your new apartment and to see your new car, what will begin to be unfold through you would be bigger than what you can imagine. Your life will take on a different arc, you see. Am I making sense here? So I'm trying to cover a lot of material here. So you don't lie to your dad. You stay positive. You stay affirmative. Life is unfolding. Don't lie. Life is unfolding, you see. And sometimes, you know, when you're with certain people, you don't want to say the negative story. You don't say anything. You know, I can remember, and Lisa can remember these days, years ago, where I was unemployed, didn't have any money. I used to fast all the time, not because I wanted to fast. I didn't have any money to eat, you know. and I would go look for employment and things like that. But I wasn't really going to look for employment. I'd go to the park and meditate, you know, and see what was trying to unfold, and then what I needed would come. I've been all these places you all talking about. I've been all there, you see. And there was an ever-increasing arc of unfoldment that would take over, and the right thing would show up at the right time to meet the legitimate needs at that particular time, you see. And I didn't engage in telling everybody my business if it wasn't up to par, or if I'd be judged by it. Say, I'm going to look for a job, you know, or whatever the case may be, you know.
So when anybody ever asks you, you know, well, how are you doing right now? And I say, I'm doing great. Life is good. And, you know, I just say things are unfolding. I don't want to tell them, I'm broke right now.
You have to be able to discern
Yeah.
the people in your life. There are certain people that can hold you in support. Here, there are practitioners. You can spill your guts. They're not going to take it personally, and they're not going to identify you with this temporary situation you're in. They're going to see that and then lift you. You may have friendships that can hold you in the same way. I don't know. And there may be acquaintanceships that you don't share anything with. Because they're just going to hold you as, oh, here's so-and-so, he doesn't have any money. Here's so-and-so, So you have to know, you have to be able to discern who you share what with. Until then, you hold your own counsel. You be quiet. And you speak of vision and possibilities, what you're working on. And sometimes you don't even speak of that with people. You see, you have to know what a real friend is, what a real support is, and what an acquaintanceship is. Acquaintanceships you don't share anything with other than, hey, it's a nice day, how you doing? How did the Dodgers win? Yeah, they won. Yeah, it's surface stuff. The deep stuff, that's real friendship or real spiritual therapist. And that's a whole different vibration. You see? And sometimes people are just too loose with their lips. Tell their story to anybody listening and regurgitating their story, or they tell their dreams to people who don't care about them, or still living under the galloping horsemen of jealousy, rivalry, envy, and malice. Those are the 4 galloping horsemen that human beings live under. They're jealous, they're envious, there's rivalry, and there's malice. And those are states of consciousness that people live in the valley. I don't mean cross the valley that way. I'm talking about in the valley consciousness under lack, limitation, scarcity, and not enoughness. What happens is jealousy. Jealousy is, I want what that person has. Envy is, I don't want that person to have what they have. Rivalry is, I'm competing against them. Malice is, I'm working against them. And human beings live in that nasty consciousness based on a sense of separation. And so there are people that smile in your face that don't want you to succeed. Out of ignorance, not that God made an accident. It's just that they're ignorant. And so you have to learn how to discern where people are so that you don't go sharing everything. You share with people that love you. Your father probably loves you. You could probably sit down and say, Dad, I'm doing my inner work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And one day, you know what? You're going to be proud of me. I'm just going to make it. Right now, I'm having a little hard time. Hold me in prayer, Dad. Okay, I'll hold you in prayer, son.
No, I will. Don't worry, I will hold you in prayer, right? So if a visualization doesn't come true, does that mean that
Visualization is an entry-level use of the law. Okay? And it shows you that you can demonstrate and manifest. But this is the thing about visualization. It is a form of limitation. Why? Because you can only visualize from the past. You can only visualize something that's already happened, that somebody's already done. Visioning. You're tapping in. His visualization is if you can see it, you can achieve it. Okay? Visioning is eyes have not seen nor ears heard, nor has entered into the heart of man and woman that which the Father has in store for those who love him. It's a higher frequency. So you start off with visualizing, which you have done very well, and it showed you what? That there's a law in the universe. Now you can begin to let go and say, okay, show me what's next. Now you know what you have to do? See that posture right there? Mm-hmm. That posture is, I really don't want to lose control. But in order to have the big enchilada, you got to let go and let God. You see?